going to try something a little different. I hope that you guys are along for the journey. I do know that you will hear a tone. Let's see. Oops. I'm going to try to get this set up here. I'm just taking a little extra time for setup today. Ah. Okay. So does this, I don't know how bad this is going to sound, but if you guys could see me now, you would see I'm actually wearing a hood with a blower. I'm going to show you. This is me right now. Cheryl, you're saying you can't hear me. We did a test on this and it sounded pretty good. Okay. Well, if you guys can't understand me today, this is the bummer about the situation. People are saying they can't hear me. It's just too loud. Hold on a second. You guys, what I'm saying is the sound is not going to be the same. What's the... Are you listening to me in the other room?
I'm on 92.
So tell me... now. No, so that's what was happening earlier, but it's you. It's not happening to me. It must be the fan. Well, yeah, it's not going to work. And people can't hear me.
We just go with this one and the...
I can't do it. I can't do it with just that. So, okay. Yeah, so now can you guys hear me? Yeah, the sound is breaking.
Yeah, for some reason it's...
That's what was happening when we did our test with you, too. But it didn't do it on the first test, so I don't know.
No. And it's still crackling now?
Okay, so now tell me if the sound is breaking. See, now they can hear me fine. Yep, sound is horrible. Sound is breaking. Now it says much better. Better.
Let's double filter you then. Let's see if...
I'll still get sick. I can't. I'll still get sick without it. I just can't. Unfortunately.
Sure, you haven't tried it?
No, I can't. I mean, I can't even hardly open the bottles without it and be sick and not feel well. So now, so you guys, first of all, welcome. I'm trying to figure out something because what I wanted to do today was to use some alcohol inks, but the truth is I cannot use them without my trusty little hood, and the sound, according to you guys, is terrible and breaking up. So if that's the case, and I don't have any paints mixed up or anything, then I guess I can't be painting for you today. My plan was to introduce you to some alcohol inks that I use, and a substrate that I really like, which is Nara. And I was just going to do a little demonstration for you today, but I can't do it without the hood because I get too sick. No, it's actually not, because I'm just circulating like ethanol or whatever is not, it won't help me either. But so I really can't use one without a mask. I'll get really sick. So the thing is this was my plan today. We tested it out earlier on, but we couldn't do it live. We had to do it on a video call, and it worked fine. So we thought it was gonna work.
You want to try the outside clip again, and not inside?
Yeah, we could try that. We might as well, as long as everyone is here.
It was inside, and that might.
I'm gonna do one last thing to see if I'm gonna do one last thing. I'm gonna put the microphone on the outside of the mask, because what I have is I have this mask right here, and I was actually clipping the microphone inside, so you could be sure to hear me. But what I'm gonna try right now, and we'll just see if it works, is I'm gonna clip it.
A lot of them are saying they don't even need sound. They just want to watch.
You guys want to watch a live without sound? Really? That's crazy. Well, if you do that, you'll have to just turn the sound off on your.
But yeah, try your outside clip.
I'm gonna try. Okay, this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna try the outside clip, and you guys can tell me how it is. This is why I started a little bit early, to try to figure out if this is helpful at all. I'm just gonna clip it on my lapel and see if you guys can even hear me or want to. So this is, okay, so now I have it clipped on the outside, and is this better?
Yeah, because you're not even breaking it up even more.
Okay, so I shouldn't be, you can hear me just fine? Oh my gosh, how wonderful is that? Okay, so,
Yes.
Wonderful, okay. So I have it clipped on the outside right now, and I know it's not perfect, but at least, you know, we could still do a little demonstration today. One thing I wanted to do for sure is I wanted to show you what we did last week, because, and what I've been working on. So those of you who were here last week, look at this painting, how it turned out, the scraping off painting. So this is where I put the paint on there, and then I scraped to reveal the colors underneath. And I thought this was really a fun project. It actually is dried totally perfect. I would love to do this again, and actually it really got my mind thinking about some other ways to do it. And in person, although you cannot see it, and I even tried taking pictures of it, but this is like so beautiful under here, because remember, it was sealed first with an acrylic varnish, the high gloss varnish. So all the metallics are really gorgeous popping through there. It doesn't necessarily come through on video, but it is pretty cool, and I think this is a great way to find a painting that you don't like and try to save it, you know. And I also would like to do maybe some more embellishments on here. I'm not sure what, but I think that would be fun. You can see those primary elements, how they bleed through when you use them with Floetrol on the back of the canvas there. But anyway, so that was one of the things. And then I wanted to show you a couple things that I have been working on. And thank you. So let me say hello formally to everybody who just showed up. Oh gosh, thanks for being here, you guys, and Happy New Year. Isn't this awesome that we get to be together again? We're so lucky to be alive, I swear. Sometimes I just think, oh my gosh, we're so lucky to be alive. Jan, and all of you. Oh, Carrie, a donation. Thank you so much. I need donations right now, so I really appreciate it. I know it's a hard time of year for everyone. Thank you so much for that. You're my #1 fan. It's so sweet. Thank you, Cheryl, for the information. And to all of you that are here, Kristen and Lori and Patricia, and my 2 moderators, Vandana and Cheryl, thank you so much for being here. Rocket Sauce, Tracy, Carrie, Lori, Julie B, Stacy, Cordell, and of course we have Paula, and I'm just kind of going back here and seeing all who showed up. Yeah, well, I appreciate, so those of you who decided to stick around, just wanted to show you some of the things I've been doing. TSR Creations in the house. If you haven't checked out her channel, you should do that. You know, this was a really pretty piece, and I really love the way it turned out. It's so shimmering, the gold and stuff in here, and I did my alcohol ink flowers with the beautiful center. You can see the center in there. Very pretty. Has all the little veins and all the stuff that makes the details. This is a fun long substrate. This is 12 by 24. So this is a pretty big piece. And then I wanted to show you the other 2 pieces that I did. Oh, I'm gonna knock this over. I knew that was gonna happen. All right. Here is this piece. For those of you who follow me on Instagram and Facebook, I'm sure you've already seen this one, but this is a really pretty piece, and I really love the way that looks. Look at all the pretty flowers on this one. Now, if you guys are interested in learning this technique, I am putting out a tutorial. It is almost finished, and at the end of the time I'm going to share with you the tutorial. It's an online class, and I'm offering the class in the new year, so coming up in the next few weeks here I will release a class, and it's going to teach you exactly how to do all of these beautiful types of paintings that I do. Kind of my style of alcohol ink painting. Hi, Brenda. And this one I worked on yesterday, which I really like. This is a 20-inch round. And these papers are by Nara. Nara makes a synthetic art paper, and I love it because if you make a mistake, you can wipe it off, and it's wonderful to be able to just, you know, wipe off your mistakes. Who doesn't love that, right? So I'm learning all kinds of things about alcohol inks, and so for those of you, like Cheryl saying, who just got here or not, I'm going to be wearing a mask today. I'm going to be doing probably a little less talking than normal, and you know, if you want to stay, you can stay and watch and bear with me, and if not, I understand. But I wanted to try out these alcohol inks. Trex Alcohol sent me some alcohol inks to try. They sent me the earth tone packs. This is the warm earth tone and the cool earth tone pack, and I thought it would be fun to kind of play around with those. Yeah, the name of the substrate is Nara, N-A-R-A. I'm going to bring you in a little bit and see if I can get you a little closer here. So the one thing I love about these alcohol inks right away when I opened up the package was the inks are marked. So it's awesome. You get to actually know the cap color. That's not something that they do like Tim Holtz or something. You don't get the cap color, so it's really easy to get the caps mixed up. And then all of a sudden your white will have like blue in it, and you don't know why, and it's because you use the cap like that. So yeah, so I thought I just would play around with some of these. I don't know, I've never used any of their inks before. And but Nara, the Substrate, I love this. You want to know why? You can wipe it off. So it's totally awesome. If you make a mistake on here or something that you just don't like, you can just wipe it right off. And I think, you know, wouldn't we love life more like that? Is just to be able to wipe away some of our mistakes, you know. So, if you are using alcohol inks, please be safe. Please wear a respirator or wear a mask. I cannot do these style of inks at all without one. So it's really important that you do protect yourself. Some people use them without, and those people are, in my opinion, risk takers, because they, you know, alcohol inks are definitely, you know, toxic, and it says so right on the inks. So we should all be aware that that is, you know, part of you working with them. So I have an air purifier and I have a mask, and I do wear it every single time, which is why I haven't really done a live before. Unsure if you guys would be able to hear me at all. So thank you for coming today on your new year to help me. So a couple things that you need for your alcohol ink paintings is some paper towel, and it's nice to have some handy. If you'd like to donate, Christy, thank you so much. If you'd like to donate, Cheryl can explain a couple different ways, but one is you can leave a donation in my PayPal. There's a tip jar, and you can certainly do it that way, or you can leave a super chat sticker and I'll see it right here while we're painting. So that kind of makes it fun, you know. This is alcohol. I'm just going to put a little bottle of alcohol. This is a white, just a white alcohol ink. And this one is a brass. I might have to break out more of that. But I just thought I would just play around a little bit and see what we get here. The online classes, Claire, are going to be very inexpensive. I'm trying to make them reasonable. You know, you see people charging $200, and I think my class would be worth $200, to be honest. But I'm not even going to charge a quarter of that, you know, I just can't. I want to make it so affordable in a way that people can actually participate. And so that's one of the things. This was just a black alcohol ink, and there's a few different blurs. I like this one is fast. It's just that one gives you like a fast burst of air if you want it. And let's see. And hi Sharon and Pamela and Joanne, and if I missed any of you. So let's put some black on there. The coolest part about alcohol inks I'm discovering is that all the different brands do different things. And I was doing like this little test for the painting you saw earlier. And a lot of these alcohol inks break off into different colors once they get diluted. Now the one that did this the least in this one, and the one that was certainly the strongest, was the Pinata. And the T-Rex Wisteria, I did try that one. It was very light. But you can see that's part of that beautiful prismatic effect right there. And so I love how those looked. I'm like, oh. So what color should I use today, you guys? Something I haven't worked with ever yet is blue. I haven't done anything in blue with alcohol inks. it might be nice just to pick a blue and try it. That's one thing, if you don't want to ruin, like we could just do a little test here. This is a teal, and I do use an airbrush most of the time when I'm working with the alcohol inks, but you certainly don't have to. You can use canned air. And this is one of the things when I'm offering my tutorials, my online classes that I'm going to be launching in the new year. I go over the masks that I use in detail. I talk about the different substrates. The class I'm releasing in January is called, oh my gosh, isn't that pretty? Look at that color. I want to use that color. That is so gorgeous. Oh yes. So, but the class I'm releasing in January is called A Study in Valencia and Slate. And for those of you who follow me on Instagram, Facebook, you've seen, and I've shown here on my lives a few times, I've done all these pretty paintings in Valencia and Slate, and those are the two colors. So I thought I'm just going to do a little study, and you guys can each see how each one is a little different, and that is a gorgeous color. So this one is called Island Teal. We're gonna use that today. I think this is so pretty, and look at that, how it breaks off into all the different colors. I'm going to try to get it close so you can really see. So pretty. So that's a pretty color, so I think we're going to use that one for sure, and then the black, and then we'll pick one more color. I kind of see a warm color that would go with that. Maybe, actually I'm kind of stuck on this color called Limeade by Tim Holtz. We'll try that one with it. So it's just good to kind of see what you're gonna get, and that's one of the cool things about working with alcohol inks, you know, is you kind of get to see ahead of time, you know, what you're gonna get. Unlike, you know, painting where you don't necessarily get that advantage all the time. I love the lime too, so I'm gonna just put a little drop of this. Now, one drop goes a long way. That is one thing I'm learning right here. Let's see. I really like the droppers on these bottles too, on the Trex, because they're long nozzles and kind of form a little layer here. I'm finding already I really like working on the bigger substrates, like the bigger pieces versus the smaller, because I guess I'm not as delicate as I'd like to think I am, but oh yeah, a purple or burgundy, that would be really pretty, wouldn't it? So I definitely find for me that I definitely have my own little style. I think part of it is because I haven't really watched very much alcohol inks. If you visit Zamino Art, I absolutely love her art, and I've been loving her art for quite some time. It's not new. She's been about a year, and if you follow her, she doesn't do any talking in her videos, but oh my gosh, her work is so pretty, and I just love it. I'm gonna actually come in closer so you guys can see. Let's see. Let's see. I'm gonna see if I can really get you in here to see. There you go. Hopefully you can see a little bit better. Yeah, Patricia, isn't her work gorgeous? Yeah. So, thank you for coming with me today. I know this is unusual and this is not our normal thing. I didn't mix up paints today. I hope you had a wonderful New Year's Eve. I saw waterfall acrylics, Karen doing her thing. She was having some cocktails and painting, and Christina Welsh did a little live that I saw, and now the black in here that I'm bringing in is causing a lot of effects. Now I'm trying to get a lot of these different looks, a lot of these, what would it be called? The translucency. I'm actually trying to build that up. I'm only using air to move the paint. Now the thing is, I have canned air, and you can use canned air, and that's totally fine if you like. So don't feel like you have to have an airbrush, but I feel like the control that you have with an airbrush just far exceeds the control that you have if you're using canned air, because canned air only comes out one pressure, and this I can control the pressures by using my finger. So yeah, I'm just moving the air. Now I can alternatively, I'll show you, I could use this. So you see that creates a different effect, more of a smooth look than this. So yeah, I think it's really pretty, and I just love that color. It's just gorgeous. I'm going to put at least 3 of that color on here somewhere. So maybe right here. I'm trying to make sure you guys are still in screen. Here. So I've been, afraid of kind of pursuing the alcohol inks because I just built such a great community within the pouring world, and so I've been nervous. I know artists are artists and everybody's telling me it's no big deal, but you know how it is, like when your favorite band all of a sudden starts playing something else and you're like, what the hell? And you're like, I didn't come to listen to this. I think there's a part of me that was worried about that. But ultimately I can't help it. I have to just do what I have to do because I'm being led in this direction, and prior to this I couldn't do alcohol inks because my health does not permit me to be in constant I'm very chemically sensitive, but honestly I found a mask that works really well, and it just changed the whole process for me. I was like, oh my gosh, I can actually do this for hours now. I feel comfortable. My airbrush has a little bit of condensation in it, that water that's developing. I'm going to try to get that out. we got 3 little blossoms on here now, if you can see. Move it to the right here. Jan, thank you so much for the donation. I'm seeing what you said, and I really appreciate the donations, you guys. It does make a world of difference when I'm doing this. I am going to still be teaching on YouTube, and I've been doing it for 2 years, and I just also would like to start offering these classes. Wow, look at these beautiful little lines that develop. I wonder if you can see. Look at those right there. Aren't they cute? Those little lines that develop. Look at all the colors that come out. This is like the part of fluid art that is so pretty to me. Look at the depth. I just love it. We're going to back out a little bit so you can see more of the whole thing for a minute. There we go. Okay. That's just so pretty. So yeah, T-Rex, looks like I'm gonna find some favorite colors of mine. This island teal is beautiful. Night Jan, thank you so much for coming. Now the gold, I'm not going to add that right away. I'm going to start actually adding some depth to this. And I think I'll use, let's see. I have this color, this slate color. And I'm going to just add a few little I'm just working with the circular motion of the piece here and seeing if I can get some things that look that kind of promote that same feeling of the circle. You know, alcohol inks are not easy. So like, I don't love this right here, so what I'm going to do, I'll show you. I'll take a little piece of paper towel. The one thing you do have to do is make sure your paper towel is clear and clean when you do this. But look, if I don't like the way something went, and this is why the Nara paper is absolutely awesome. There's another brand that does this too, which is something I can talk about, but look. Wouldn't it be awesome if in our acrylic pouring we could just go in? I mean, we do. If you guys haven't seen me from the very, very beginning, I scrape off stuff all the time. I'm using 99% alcohol, but honestly, 91 is what's recommended. This is what I could buy. This is what was available. So I bought it, and it works good, but you could actually use 91%. And the 99%, it works pretty good. Oh, I'm just going to take this whole leaf off because it's not working out. So sometimes you can just take a little piece off of something you don't like, and other times you have the luxury of removing this. You guys are part of a very special event, my very first live alcohol ink event. I just decided to do this at the very last minute, and I really appreciate you being here today. Thanks for joining me and being so supportive and always there for me. And we're here for each other. Okay. So if it's not perfect, it's okay, because what you're going to do is, you know, I'll just do it over again. So this is the slate, and I'm just going to try to put another little drop right here and see if I can get a better result. That's pretty. Now, I love that so much that I actually wish that these two were more like that and not as spiky. But, you know, we take what we can get, and then I can add some other effects in other places. Some burgundy, though. Is there anything? There's a Cabernet here in this. We should try, maybe the Cabernet would be pretty with that. Here we go. Or like you said, the purple. I could look right here. You can see some of those purples would be really pretty with it too. I don't know, Tara, why the 91% is recommended. I mean, I just think you don't need it this high. I do know that once you get down to a certain level, like 70% or whatever, it does, or 71 or whatever the low stuff like you can buy at the Dollar Tree. I know that does not work. And then if you're just loaded with cash, you can do the what is that called? The blending solution. And I started that way thinking, oh, I'm going to use blending solution because it's awesome and it works good, and it does work good. But it is so expensive that it's just not even, I don't even understand how people can ever use it. It doesn't make any sense. It's so expensive. Ooh, this color is dramatic. Look at that, folks. That is the downside, is I'm right over the top of this. Let's see if I can get. Woo. So you see, I don't have perfect control over this at all. I just am. In this case, I need to just go with what it is because it was starting to move in that direction. So, 70, okay, that makes sense. Too much water in the 71%. That is actually really pretty. Now I'm going to do, actually need to do kind of, let's see, maybe right here. One of the things I really like about this type of art is you just get almost instantaneous results, and then it is hard to control. It's just like fluid art in that it's not easy to control. So don't get me wrong, but you get instant results, and then if you don't like it, you just back up. Just back up and put more ink on there and more alcohol. You can rinse it away. Woo! Every now and again I make a move that is too much. Now that one I kind of, the black all mixed in there. So actually I'm going to just see if I can bring out a little bit more of that red. I'm going to put a whole nother drop of red down, of the Cabernet down there. That was probably too much, but wow, that's dramatic. Look at that color. Ooh-wee. Okay, so pretty. I'm gonna add some white. I'm gonna add some white to the flowers. The PSI my air compressor is right now. Let's see. It is on 25. So 25. And I'm gonna just add a little bit of this white to this. See if we can get some more flowery looking patterns to come out of there. I think my white is clogging up now. This is Blanco Blanco Pinata by Pinata. Now, if you guys want a really in-depth tutorial, those of you who are just joining me, I do have an online course being launched in January. Hopefully, if everything goes perfectly, I will launch it in January. And I'm pretty excited. It's the first one I've ever done. Online classes, Heather Mader Art School. And you just need to follow me on Instagram, Facebook, or YouTube. I'm sure I'll put a notice out, or I'll say something else about it on YouTube, of course. But yeah, I can't wait. I'm pretty excited. It's something I wanted to do, and I've always wanted to do, but you know, sometimes we get scared, but 2021 is going to be the year, right, people? 2021. Alright, so this one that I did over here, I'm not in love with it because I used this blower and it didn't quite let me have enough control over that. So I'm going to actually just soften this up a little bit. Wipe a little tiny bit of it away. I don't want to wipe it all away, but I am going to make it more, whoop, I don't want it to meet that red one over there either. I'm going to give it a little bit more shape by reforming with another drop of ink. Now, keep in mind, a lot of my alcoholing paintings, I do embellishments over. So when I'm looking at this, I'm kind of looking at it from the point of view that I'm going to go back and add some of the some of the delicate lines of the flower. I'm going to add those in later. So really what I do here is I'm just trying to build the depth for the base layer of the flower. And you have a compressor on wheels. I think it just depends on how low you can set it, and does your airbrush attach to it and everything. This is obviously used for art, cake decoration. This one was used for cake decorating, actually. The lady that I bought it from used was a cake decorator, and she was retiring. So I like that pretty flower. And I'll go in and add some more black at the bottom right there. Just, ooh, except for that's way too much. Ah, that's okay. Here we go. Sometimes those little mistakes turn out being really awesome. It's kind of just like, it's just like fluid art in a way. You know, that actually added a lot of depth and interest to that little flower right there. And then now let's add some green in, should we? I think we should add some green in. Let's see. Trying to figure out where to put it, I could put a little one right there. Now, I do not love that at all. So, it's really bright compared to the other hues of the painting, which, I don't know. Now, I'm seeing, that is one thing with the different colors. Some colors come off really easy, and some colors don't. So, and the problem is you don't really know until you know. So, in this case, I can see that there's a little bit of yellow, residual yellow from that green kind of holding out on the paper. And I don't know if that will come off, to be honest. So, let's see. It's still leaving kind of like a yellow cast there. But actually that's okay, I think the color I'm going to actually use instead of this limeade, which I do love this limeade, but I'm going to actually use this other color here real quick. It has the limeade in it, and it's mixed with brass and some of this gunmetal. Hi Angie and Angela. Hi Brenda, if I didn't say hi. I've been watching you, but I just didn't say hello yet. Now this one is very dramatic, but it has the green in it. It's quite interesting, and there's things that I'm like definitely not excited about on here, and things I think I could still play with because I'm still learning too. I'm not a huge fan of this right here. I think I'm just going to take it off, and we'll see if I can. That slate comes off pretty easy. One thing I notice is the metallic colors are more difficult to remove. Oh, did you, Deanne, you just got an airbrush, and I'm making this look easy because I feel like I'm making it look hard right now. I think it is hard. All of these, I think that new techniques are a challenge. You just have to give yourself permission to mess up. You have to give yourself permission. I'm going to mess up. I'm going to make things that aren't pretty sometimes. I'm going to ruin substrates. I'm going to sometimes waste paint. It's kind of the same thing that happens when you start doing a fluid art, you know, any paint, any art, any type of art. If you really want to get good, you have to practice, and that means that sometimes you're going to make things that are really ugly, and sometimes you will make things that are really pretty. And yeah, isn't that cool? You can just wipe it off. I mean, I'm going to just... I'm just playing up the black line a little bit right here. Now I can actually come back and do this with pen if I wanted to, but doing it with the ink means that I can pull some of that black into a flower again if I felt like it later, and add some depth like that. Or like right here, I'm thinking. So I see the potential of this. Tish, Tish, did you make it to 1,000 subscribers? I'm so happy for you. We've all been waiting for that. And it's just wonderful. I'm so happy for you. I know that feeling. I remember my first 1,000 subscribers, and oh my gosh. You had to work for it. You really did, honey. And you just totally deserve it. But you and Michael are like a dream team. It's totally awesome. Alright, I'm gonna do a little tiny bit more green. Now one thing is I could also do is, oh my gosh, I don't have it right here. Hold on. Hey, honey. I'm gonna unhook myself and grab something because apparently no one can hear me. Hold on. You guys just entertain yourselves for a moment. So, let me hook this back up real quick. Okay, I'm back. Can you guys hear me okay? Again, I know it's not perfect. Okay. Oh my gosh. So one thing you can do if you want a little bit more control is you can use some of the... I wish someone was here to be my gopher. I don't know where he is. Like, I do have my sweetie here is tonight, and I don't know why he can't hear me, but it would be nice if he could, because I would love to. But anyway, what I wanted to show you, there's a lot of these little tools that you can get for alcohol inks, and each one's like shaped a little different, and it, you know, leaves a little bit different of a mark on there. I also bought, you can use cotton swabs, and one thing about the small airbrush systems I'm going to tell you I do recommend an airbrush that's in my store if you're curious, so you can go look in there. And there's a couple I recommend that's the closest to what I use. But you can also think outside the box. Like here's these little eyeliner applicators, makeup tools. I got these for 150 pieces. I think I got them for like $4. And they make little dots for the center of flowers or whatever, and they're just disposable. So, and then you can just get some of the ink in a palette, which, why I don't have a palette in front of me right now, I'm not very well prepared apparently. Let me see. Oh my gosh, Heather. They sell all kinds of little stuff. They sell stampers that you can spread the ink around with, and dotting tools, of course. Those can be fun. Mini misters that you can put alcohol ink in and spray over the top, and that gives a lot of different effects. Personally, I think I'm a control freak, and I really like having a lot of control over everything. So, it's one of the reasons why I don't use some of those tools, and why I do like using an airbrush, because at least with an airbrush I feel like I have a lot of control over it. Although I like to combine all sorts of different techniques. But so one thing I'm going to do is I'm going to just boost some of the colors here, and some purple would be really pretty in there. So let's just grab one of these purples. This is the purple iris. Technically, it's going to pick up maybe a few colors from this palette because the palette's not clean. There's ways to keep your palette clean, and one of those is I will reveal in my alcohol ink class when I release the class. But I'm sure you all have seen the tricks. But you can use brushes too. Like here's my favorite paint brushes. Let's pick up some of this ink in the palette here. Some of this purple. And we can just add it. It's a great way to add a bunch of little details in your flower if you want. Like maybe some spiky little details. I'm going to bring you in closer so you can really see what's happening. Can you guys see okay? So as I draw that's one thing, as you draw your paintbrush through, the ink kind of resists the ink that's already there, so it creates a line. But it also deposits some color on there. So it can add so much texture. I haven't fully explored all of this. I have so many ideas and so little time, it seems like. But eventually I want to do a painting where I don't embellish with the pens and stuff. What's the large green-handled brush near the eye brush dot tool? Oh, these are by Pixis, Pixis. And that one has a swab on the end, and they're both kind of like foam at the end. And I'll show you how it works. Like for example, you can use it to erase something if there's something that you didn't like. Let's say I decide I don't like this outside part much. you can wipe it away pretty easily with these tools, and it's pretty targeted, see? But the downside is now this tool is dirty, and it'll start leaving a mark. See? It's like the next time I use it, it's going to start leaving that mark. So now this tool is dirty, and then you can soak it in alcohol and try to get that out of there, but then it's wet. So they're great if you have a bunch of them to use, and you can let some of them be wet and some of them be dried and whatever, but I just don't, right now I'm just not sure it's necessary to buy a bunch of extra stuff. Like, maybe it is fun. Some of the stuff comes in a kit too, and that's how I ended up, my very first alcohol ink kit, I ended up buying a bunch of this stuff. But would I buy it again? You know, I don't know. This is one way to shape the flowers. You can shape your painting if you like. I see people that do whole paintings in reverse, so they coat the whole substrate with alcohol ink and then remove the areas they actually, that are details. So, but like, look how I just made these leaves less spiky. So Clara Lawrence she knows her stuff about alcohol ink. So if you haven't visited her channel, she makes these amazing resin and alcohol ink projects, and she was my little helper today. I asked her some questions for a little project I'm doing, and she knows her stuff, so she's a great person to ask questions to. I'm just showing you the things that I've learned, but by far I am not an expert in this. I'm just trying to give you some confidence to try something, even if you haven't tried it before. I just want you to see it's not that scary. Now, I'm going to show you really quick. Where was it? I had a brush here. So let's say I wanted to add some sparkle to that. There's a few ways I could do it. Evelyn, what's the question? Is what I'm using right now? I'm not sure what the question is. I'm sorry. I just added a little bit of this Pinata Brass in my palette here. And if I wanted to add some little highlights here and there of the brass, I could take my brush and do it. It's also really pretty when it naturally occurs. But I also find, it can be fun to add to exactly where you want it. And just put some little highlights in here with some sparkle. Some sparkle in them. I'm not an extremely facile painter, but I do enjoy doing it. Anyway, so this, I could just, these take forever. I could just go on and on and on and on. And there's a lot of little detail work that I would, You want to add a link to your channel for Diane. I'm not sure what that means. You can do whatever you want in your channel, honey. I'm going to show you one of the ways that I can put a little bit more, bring some of this black into here. Flower's still giving me a lot of trouble. It's just not my favorite yet. There's kind of a blunt side to it, but that's something that I could probably fix in when I do my embellishment. One thing I'm going to do right here is add one more leaf. Because I didn't like the one, or I was trying to demonstrate how we could do it a little differently. I wasn't a huge fan of the one that was there. Maybe not a huge fan of that one either, but like I said, some of this stuff is like post-production work for me, because I feel like I can kind of express what it is I see in my head afterwards. But so I hope this gives you an idea of what you can do. This is just alcohol in the little bottle, and in this bottle is a mixture of brass, lime. Well, there's like 6 different things in here right now. I just keep adding things to it, but I use lime and brass and gunmetal. Slate was in there at one time. I think I even put black when I wanted to darken it up. So yeah, it looks, I can't wait to show you next week what this is going to look like. One thing I want to do is add a little bit, I like adding a little bit of pearl in there. If I can find it real quick, I'm going to grab one of the pearl colors. The thing is with the pearl, you really, really have to shake them up. You have to shake it up until you hear the ball, but also kind of look at the bottom. You can see. Alright, I'm going to use a little pearl just to make this pop a little bit. We're going to make these ones have little spiky, some little spikes coming off of them. Now one thing is, if you add too much, it does start getting a little busy. And like I said, I'm finding these smaller ones really hard to work on versus the bigger substrates where I can really kind of explore all the space. But I'm doing my best here. I think this will be really pretty. I can't wait to show you what it looks like when it's all done. You guys, I want to say thank you so much for joining me today. If you want to stick around for another one, I'll do another little piece for you just for fun. I want to see in the comment section, though, if you guys are down for another one or if you're done for today. So anyone that wants me to stay and do another piece, I'd like to hear it one way or the other. Otherwise, I'm going to go have dinner. So, and if not, we can do this again. It is, like I said, this is something that's coming up. Doris, nice to see you here, my dear. Okay. No dinner, more paint. Okay, we could just do another one, another little small one, I suppose. I think I have a piece of Nara. I'm going to use a little bit bigger of a piece of the Nara paper. And for those of you who didn't see it earlier, this is the paper that I'm using. And I have all this stuff all around me. The one thing I like about it is the cleanup is easy, and there's not you don't have to mix this ton of stuff ahead of time like you do with paints. I can just pop in and do a little bit, even if I don't have a lot of time. And that is something that is a huge bonus for me right now as I'm working more and more. Terra compared to Yupo, there's just no comparison in my opinion. Like, the Nara paper and the graphics paper are like, I don't even want to use Yupo anymore, but I do have a big, huge piece of it to use. So, but honestly, the difference is like night and day, because with Yupo, you mostly can't wipe off your mistakes. So there's downsides to working with ink in general, like for example, the mask you have to wear. People, oh, where do I work, Margaret? I'm a chef. I'm a private chef. But yeah, I really, really love this substrate in general. But I like I really enjoy the way that this wipes off, and also graphics wipes off like this too. And you can see I like to correct myself, and I like to explore starting over. And I just feel like with Yupo, you just get that stain on the paper, and then you can't do that. I'm going to do this real quick actually. Cheryl, my business name is actually just 1D, Radish, like the way that you would normally spell radish. Just so you know. Alright, I'm just gonna run through some colors and just see what we can do here. I love this. This Cabernet is gorgeous. That's one thing I'm gonna do. Kind of stuck on these little flowers in this whole little thing right here, so forgive me if I'm doing it. You know how it is when you find something that you just really love and you want to just keep exploring all the options. That's kind of what I've been doing with these little flowers. I do feel like you get more effects with the bigger paper because you can make the flowers bigger. But isn't that true with painting too? If you like what you see, please don't hesitate to donate to this channel and to keep these lives coming to you. The donations I really rely on to help pay for supplies, and just a good way to support an artist. If you can't do that, understandably, and we appreciate you just watching. My gosh, that Cabernet is so pretty. I love this color. This might be one of my new favorite colors for sure. That is so pretty. It's very dramatic. I'm going to finish this one flower and then I'm going to say goodbye for the evening, you guys. Mostly because I'm thirsty and hungry and I don't know what's happening with this. Oh, well, there you go. It just dropped all over the place. So we're just gonna go with it. Sometimes when you get an accident, you just have to go with it. Go with the flow. I'll bring you in close to this little flower before we go here today, so you can really see what's going on. Thank you, Marcia. I really appreciate it. My white is getting a little thick, so it's not moving the way that I would like to, as much as I would like it to move. That's okay. Happy New Year, Deanne. Thank you so much. I'm going to add one more thing to this before we go. And I'm going to show you how I add let's see, some little now this is a different color. It just adds just like an extra little character to the flower. Not pretty. Yeah. Anyway, so you guys, as always, thanks so much for joining me on my little art journeys. I appreciate you guys sticking around, even with the different substrate we're using and the different techniques today. Most of you wanting to probably watch pour painting, but I appreciate you being here, and I hope you all have a happy new year. This year has to be better. It has to, so I know I'm looking forward to it. You know, I'm a Virgo. Those of you who are Virgos, I just want you to know, Virgos, we're supposed to have the best year ever. This is supposed to be the year for us for everything, like money, love, for all of our stuff. So, you know, just be aware that you just never know what might be coming for you this year, Virgo. Amazing things are in the works for us. So I feel like that could definitely be true for me. I feel like I'm on the precipice of something. I don't know if you've ever felt that way before, but there's just some part of me, I just feel like, oh, I'm gonna know something and do something. I don't know. So isn't that pretty? Thanks so much, you guys, for coming and joining me today. I really appreciate it, and I hope you have a good night. Much love to all of you. Thank you so much for those of you who support this channel, and you can still do it if you'd like to. Please don't stop wearing your masks when you are painting, because it is toxic. So thank you so much for joining me, and we created a couple of different things today. I'm going to show you this one when it's all said and done. You're going to be surprised at how pretty this one is after I do all my little embellishing. So, alright, much love to you. Stay safe. Good night. Thank you, Cheryl and Vandana, for all that you do. And I love you so much. And I'm going to go have dinner now. Alright. Mm-hmm.